Hi, this is Bethany Gagnier, the originator of the Albany Peace Project, and today I'm here with Christine Powers, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about how her meditation practice has really helped her artistry, her singing, and her vocal work for the last, how long? How many years?
About almost 13 years.
Wow. So can you tell everyone how you got introduced to meditation through your music?
Yeah, it was a very interesting process. I'm a classical and operatic soprano, and I studied for years right here in Albany with Mimi O'Neill at Allegro Voice Studio. And as part of my vocal training in understanding breath work and relaxing the mind and calming the nerves, Mimi taught me a variety of techniques, including tapping, but most importantly, she introduced me to meditation. The first style I learned from Mimi was a Sufi style meditation all those years ago. And I worked with her in little group settings, and I first learned to meditate with groups, and took quite a while until I could do it on my own.
So
many of the 10 years.
So tell me, what was that like for you the very first time you meditated and you had that experience? Do you remember by any chance? Or?
You know, I think the first time I really experienced something different was a sense of proportions being different. Like I had a sense that spatially things around me weren't the same, and I felt a calmness. Like my senses were very heightened, but there was this calmness, and I was aware of my breath, aware of my breath. And it really entered into an altered state.
Nice.
And it wasn't sleep.
Right.
And it wasn't, anything like being alcohol or anything. It was just
Right.
totally different.
Right.
But it was very palpable.
And do you remember how many times you practiced meditation before you stumbled into that?
It happened for me pretty fast because I did it with Mimi. So she was able, sitting across from me, she was able to hold and anchor the space and the energy. And so it happened for me pretty fast. On my own, it took years.
Right.
And then in a group setting, it was pretty easy too.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
For people who are maybe wondering what we're talking about, I often liken this kind of phenomenon to this is imagine you take a little bit of salt and you put it in a little bit of water, and if you were to sip it, it would taste really bitter. But if you take that same amount of salt and you put it in a big gallon of water, that little irritation, that little salt, you can barely taste it. And it's the same way with kind of negative emotions and feelings, that when we go into meditation, we start to become aware of a larger sense of ourselves, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
And then that irritation, or maybe that sadness, or whatever's kind of bothering you or troubling you, that irritant inside of you, it doesn't seem so overwhelming, right?
Yes, whenever I come out of meditation, I find I'm more creative. Things that I was very agitated about, they're just not that important.
Right.
And they feel really far away.
Yeah.
Like, really? I was really upset about that? Really? I was?
It's so true. It's so true. I often say before I go into meditation, I'm thinking about Lonnie. When I come out of meditation, I'm thinking much bigger questions, right? So it must really help you in all your music and your creativity and your awareness and your vocal training, right?
It does, and I find on average now, about 3 to 4 days a week, it should be more, but 3 to 4 days a week, even if it's just 5 minutes. Anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes, I will sit in stillness before I start my day, before I even greet my kids in the morning, before I think about work. Those days have such a different trajectory.
Wow. Oh, I love the way you put that.
Yeah, it's just like a totally different path.
Right.
And so I keep doing it more and more and more, and I'm getting better at the practice because of the results.
Right.
And because my days are more calm, more peaceful, more joyful.
Yeah.
And it only takes 5, if you only have 5 minutes,
Right.
it's still worth it.
Think about it. It changes your orientation,
Yeah.
which, as you use that wonderful word, it changes your whole trajectory.
Yeah.
That's really, I like the way you put that.
Yeah.
So in a moment, Christine Powers is going to lead us and teach us how we can change our trajectory for the entire day. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much for being with us here today, Christine.
Thanks, Bethany.
And thanks for being part of this project.
I'm really honored to be a part of it. I'm really excited about what you're doing for our community.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for all your support. You've been very supportive. Thank you.